Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are I hope you guys are keeping safe. Uh Guys, I want to go talk about some big news. But before I talk about that big news about Canelo Alvarez and him fighting in Mexico and him fighting, then guys, you know what? I want to say this because I see this a lot in my comment section and other comment sections. And I think it's very important for me to get this message out to you guys. I have respect for everyone. I have respect for black people. I have respect for Mexican people. I have respect for everyone. I have respect for people like James Deere who are in my chat section. I have respect for people like Jonathan Ramirez. I have respect for EK, Stephen, Ray, Little Penny, all of you guys. I don't care what ethnic background you guys are from. But it really breaks my heart when I see some of you guys going back and forth at each other, bringing race into it. Guys, I'm a British Pakistani, right? And I know a lot of you guys like me, and like even my good friend James Deere, for example. Because deep down, he knows that I don't push any agendas. I'm fair. I might have I might like Canelo, I might like certain fighters, but deep down, when you're watching me, you know that I don't push any agendas. I say things how it is. I'm not on anyone's side, but when I see some of you guys going back and forth, and it kind of hurts me a little bit. It does. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts me a lot actually, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. Doesn't matter what background you're from. And boxing, unfortunately, is a horrible sport like that. It's a horrible sport. People don't appreciate they don't appreciate great fighters, man. They just, it's people from their background, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why it matters. Why, a great fighter is a great fighter, right? Doesn't matter what background you're from. Great fighter is a great fighter. And it just kind of, I don't understand why people make it about race or background. It really irritates me. Really irritates me. We're all one, man. We're all one. Please don't have a go at each other, get racial. It's just no good. It's just no good, man. There's too much hate in the world. It's only a sport. It's boxing. It's boxing. It's a sport, man. It's a sport. A sport's supposed to unite us, not separate us. That's the whole beauty of sport. You have different people from different backgrounds come together, fight one another or play sport together, and they're supposed to unite us. We watch it as entertainment. We watch these great warriors. Doesn't matter what background, whether they're Mexican, whether they're African American, whether they're British Pakistani, whether they're British, whatever. Whether they're Ukrainian. These guys are warriors, man. And they come and put their lives on the line for our entertainment. And we should respect them, no matter what background they're from. I just feel sometimes, I just think we should respect them more, irrespective of where they're from. I just find it uncomfortable, like especially on social media, on Facebook, especially at times. I'm going back and forth. Like I was going back and forth with this guy about the Khan Brooks stuff, and he was just ripping into Amir Khan. I was like, mate, you're not making sense. You're not making sense, my brother. You're not making sense. Everybody in the UK and everybody knows that Khan's had a better career than Kell Brook. Why are you trying to make out and trying to spin a narrative here? We all know the situation. We all know the score. Like anyone that's neutral knows that Khan's had a better career than Brook. It's not even close. So why are you trying to say this, that, and the other and trying to manipulate? Just accept the fact. But you see, these people are not at ease. They don't like the fact that somebody from that background made such a big name. You see, don't do that. And I just get irritated when there's people out there. Just respect people from. It doesn't matter We're all one. You know, it really irritates me, man. Really irritates me. It doesn't sit well with me. You know, I see Mexican fans going back and forth with, American African fans, and it's like, come on. You know, it's all good having a debate, but some people get, it's just, there's no need for it. We need to respect one another. We need to love one another. You know, we need to have debates with one another. There's no problem about having debates, but keep it respectful. You know, a debate is good. There's nothing wrong with a debate. Debates are great. Debates are great, but keep it respectful. Keep it respectful. You know, we need to respect one another. We need to understand that we all come from different backgrounds, different cultures, whatever. But we're all humans at the end of the day. We all have one thing in common. All of us have one thing in common. You know what that one thing is? We all love boxing. We all might have different opinions, but we all love boxing. And that's what we all have common. That's what all of you guys that watch me and all of you guys that come on my live stream and all of you guys that comment in the comment section, that you know what we all have in common is we all love boxing. So, yeah, just a little bit of a rant or just giving my little take on things that I see on social media, and it really irritates me and frustrates me. But let's move on to the boxing side of things. So there's been reports that Canelo Alvarez is going to be fighting in May. And the big news, he's going to be fighting in September. So he's going to look to fight 2 times this year. And in September, he's looking to fight in the Azteca Arena in Mexico. And people have started speculating. People have started saying, the Azteca Stadium. Who's he going to fight in the Azteca Stadium? He's going to be fighting in Vegas. And I think the clue's already been given away. And I'm going to put something out there. I don't know. I'm just shooting a dart. I don't know. I don't have a clue. I'm going for Charlo in May because he's not fighting Makabu in Las Vegas. There's no way that fight happens in Las Vegas. So I'm going for Charlo in May. Then I'm going to put one out there. I'm going for Benavidez in September in Mexico in the Azteca Stadium. Wow. If Canelo does that, salute to Saul Canelo Alvarez. If he fights Charlo in May and then fights Benavidez in Mexico, salute to you, Mr. Saul Canelo Alvarez. If he does that, wow. All I'm going to say is this, that Canelo Alvarez deserves immense respect if he fights Charlo and then fights Benavidez in September. Wow. That would be some year. And Canelo Alvarez will be on his way to winning the Fighter of the Year again if he can beat both Charlo and Benavidez. Because who else is he going to fight in the Azteca Stadium? Benavidez makes the perfect sense. There isn't really anybody else. See, look, Canelo could fight anybody in Mexico and he could sell out a stadium. But I think Benavidez, an American Mexican, it just makes a lot of sense. Do you know what I mean? It just it makes the fight a very spicy fight. I like it. Charlo in May and Benavidez in September. Wow. Now we're talking. The pound for pound king, Saul Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo Alvarez would quieten all the haters who are saying he's ducking Benavidez and he's ducking Jermall Charlo. What are the haters going to say then? What are the guys going to say then if he fights Jermall Charlo and Benavidez? I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. I don't think a Makabu fight can happen in Las Vegas, if I'm brutally honest with you, especially after that display of Makabu. I don't think his performance was good enough, I think if he had looked spectacular and knocked his opponent out, I believe that Makabu would have been in a position where Canelo might have considered it. But I think due to the poor performance and due to how lackluster and horrible the fight was, I just think Makabu's off the table. I don't think the fight makes any sense. And I think Canelo Alvarez is looking to have a very, very big 2022. And fighting Makabu, Canelo knows, will be a very, very dim start to the year, and a lot of fans won't be happy. Canelo Alvarez is in this sport is to make history, is to make or set a legacy where people say he was the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. He was special. He fought all comers. He fought all comers. That's the legacy that Canelo needs to leave the sport, where he fought everybody. That man was a beast. He was a warrior. He fought everyone. He was a machine. He lived the life. He dedicated his whole career to boxing. That's the legacy that Canelo Alvarez needs to set for himself. He fought all comers. He fought everybody and left the sport one of the greatest. And that's the legacy, man, that Canelo's good enough to do it. There's certain fighters that, they don't really have that kind of talent where they have to pick and choose. Like, for example, someone that I admired, Khan. He needed to pick and choose his fights, even though he didn't, because he didn't have the chin of Canelo. Secondly, he didn't have the ring IQ of Canelo. So although he was a great fighter, in my opinion, he didn't have some of the things that Canelo has, the ring intelligence, the chin, the many things that makes Canelo elite. Unfortunately, Amir didn't have, so he needed to pick and choose his fights. He didn't, hence why he's got quite a few losses. He's got 5 losses, because he didn't pick and choose. But Canelo Alvarez, he doesn't need to pick and choose because he's that good. He's that good in around his weight classes. He doesn't need to pick and choose because he could legitimately beat everybody. Do you see what I mean? He could legitimately beat everyone and anyone. From 175, like at cruiserweight, I don't think he should fight the top guys at cruiserweight because those guys are just too big. But if you look at the guys at 175 to 160, Canelo Alvarez could fight all of them. Fight on all comers and beat all of them. Easily. Not easily, because Beterbiev would be a tough fight. Bivol would be a challenging fight. Maybe Andrade might be a challenging fight. Who knows? But the point I'm trying to make is that Canelo Alvarez can beat all of those guys. I would pick him to beat everyone. So this is the point I'm trying to make, is that Canelo, for me personally, I think he should fight all of them. Just beat all of them. And then leave the sport a king. King Canelo. Leave the sport a king. The greatest Mexican fighter of all time. One of the greatest fighters of all time. That's the legacy that Canelo needs to have. This is why I said to you the other day that him fighting Makabu, it doesn't matter. If he beats Benavidez, Charlo, beats Beterbiev, Bivol, wow. That's a legacy. That's what you call, who knows? He may even fight Charlo, and then he might fight, because Beterbiev is going to fight Joe Smith, it looks like, next. He may even say, you know what? I'll fight Beterbiev in Mexico, in the Azteca. Who knows what Canelo Alvarez might decide to do. He may say, let me fight Beterbiev in the Azteca Stadium. Who knows? But I personally think I'm going for Charlo and Benavidez. And I'll tell you why. I think the relationship that Canelo has with Al Heyman, and also the fact that pay-per-view wise, I think Canelo has realized that he can make a lot of money on pay-per-view. Because the numbers that he could do are massive. So personally, I personally think that Canelo likes the fact fighting Charlo and Benavidez. But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? Do you think Canelo Alvarez will fight Charlo in May and Benavidez in September? Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.